Hey everybody, welcome to Motivational March. My name is Kitty and we're on day 3 of our first week where we're talking all about getting more visible. So on day 1, we talked about why visibility was important. On day 2, we talked about different ways you can get visible. On day 3 and the coming days up until Friday, I'm going to talk in depth about social media marketing, okay? Purely because social media marketing is one of the most accessible ways of getting yourself in front of producers and agents and the kind of people who you want to book you. Or if you're an instructor in front of your students, or if you're an instructor in front of other dance schools who might want to book you. Social media is our shop window of us being able to be seen, okay? So I'm going to talk in depth over the next 3 days about the different ways to market yourself. Social media is also free, so we're not paying for anything when we're doing social media. I can show up on social media as many times a day, mithering people to buy my products or to look at me or to watch this video, and I'm not getting charged for that. In some instances, I even get paid for it now, okay? So again, it's free. There's also opportunities to get paid from social media. I get paid from Meta every month. Don't ask me what I do. I just show up online and they send me money. I don't actually know how I earn that money. It just goes in my bank. I don't know. Maybe that needs to be one of my things that I need to learn to teach you all to do. And you can also access people anywhere in the world, okay? So it is a really, really good way of boosting your visibility without shelling out money, without shelling out loads of time and effort, travel, all that jazz, okay? So we're going to start off today talking about, firstly, our ideal client, okay? So when we're curating our social media, we really have to know what we are selling, okay? And I'm talking to you guys as if you and your acts are your business and your acts are your product, okay? So when I'm talking about selling, I'm talking about selling you to get yourself booked. When somebody's buying, I'm talking about them booking you, okay? Because that's essentially what it is. Your client is your customer. It all works exactly the same. Doesn't matter if I'm selling a lip gloss, I'm selling a pair of nipple tassels, I'm selling a coaching session, I'm selling a dance class, or I'm getting myself booked as a performer. It all works exactly the same. And once you understand this marketing process, you can use it for everything, yeah? So, first of all, you need to have a real in-depth sit down and think about what kind of shows you want to be getting booked for, okay? Now, obviously, if you're a brand new performer, you're going to be like, well, Kitty, I want to get booked for all the shows. And yes, obviously, we want as many bookings as we possibly can get when we're first starting out. However, we do also want to be thinking about the quality of the bookings that we're getting. So if we are sharing, let's say, for example, I'm like a very corporate, classic burlesque performer, okay? If I'm sharing loads of classic corporate burlesque on my page, on my Instagram, I'm going to attract people who book classic corporate burlesque, okay? I'm not going to attract people who book singers because I'm not showcasing any of that stuff on my page. So I'm not attracting that kind of person, okay? If I'm putting everything on my page, again, I'm not really attracting anyone because no one really knows what I'm about. I'm just a mishmash of everything. So I try to focus on the kind of events that I want to get booked for. I want to get booked for high-end corporate events. So they are the pictures and videos that you will see the majority of on my page, okay? If I get booked for something random, like, for example, the other week I got booked to be on Valentine's Day, a heart mascot, and I had to walk up down this shopping centre in this giant heart. Like, yes, I put that on my stories to say that I'd done it, but I didn't put it in my Instagram feed because that's not necessarily what I want to get booked for all the time. Like, I did it because it's for an agent who I'm really good friends with. She lives around the corner from me. It was easy for me to go and pick the costume up. It was on the way back from another gig that I was doing, so it all like fell into place, so it worked for me. But I don't want to be getting every single weekend mascot jobs all over the country. I just don't. So that's not what I'm going to advertise. I'm going to say, yeah, guys, look at this in my stories. I did this for banter today. but I'm not going to say, book me for this, because that's not what I want to get booked for. So you've got to start thinking about your Insta feed. The main things that you post are the shop window. Your stories are more about you, who you are as a person. So you'll look on my stories, and my stories at the minute are quite political, and things like that. I can do that because obviously I've got a reputation. People already know me. I'm not bothered if people don't book me because of what my values are or what my political points of view are or whatever. When I'm first starting out, probably not going to do that, okay? So in my stories, I want to be like kind of showing people who I am as a person. In my feed, I'm showing people like what I've got to offer, okay? Stories is for your values, who you are, what you stand for. This is a day in the life of me, behind the scenes when you're doing stuff. Your feed is, this is what you get if you buy from me, i.e. if you book me. Does that make sense to everybody? So you need to be really, really clear on what you're going to start posting, okay? If you're just starting out, like when I started out, yeah, I'm posting everything. But if you're an established performer now and you're thinking, right, I'm sick of doing these like shitty door share jobs, like if you keep posting that you're doing door share jobs, or you keep posting, you don't have to say that you're doing a door share, but I know what shows are door shares, I know what shows pay shit money. So if you're posting those ones and you're wanting to get high-end jobs, people like me who know that all those shows that you've done on there are low-paying jobs are going to think, well, if she's doing those jobs for next to nothing, then why am I going to pay like a higher fee? Does that make sense? It works both ways. So if you're showing that you're willing to work for cheap, then people aren't going to be willing to pay you. If you're showing that this is the high level of work that I do, and these people pay me good money for it, because obviously the corporate events or whatever, it doesn't have to be corporate, I'm just going off like my expertise. It could be that you're a rock performer, but then if you're, that's all you want to do, you want to do like rock performances with live bands and stuff like that. But if you're posting all these classic glittery showgirl pictures, you're not going to get booked for that. Yeah, I wouldn't get booked for like bands and rock concerts and festivals where I'm like dancing on stage with a band, because that's not the look that I've got, okay? I could do that look, but that's not what I want to get booked for, so that's not what I post, okay? If that is what you want to get, that is what you need to be posting. Does that make sense? Okay? So first of all, get clear on what you want to be getting, because that is your ideal client. Rock concerts are your ideal client in that scenario. For me, my ideal client is agencies, because they book for corporate events or high-end burlesque shows. So that's my ideal client. I'm dead clear. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do other things, but I'm probably not going to make a hoo-ha about them when I do them, because I want people to see me as the go-to person for a specific type of event. If you want to do like music festivals and things like that, then you want to be showcasing all your work that you do at music festivals. If you want to work on a cruise ship, if you've worked on a cruise ship, great. If you've not, then you want to be showcasing the kind of things that will get booked on a cruise ship. Yeah? If you're a singer, you want to get booked for cruise ship singing jobs, you want to be showcasing singing over and over again. If you're an aerialist and you want to get booked for a circus, you want to be showcasing aerial over and over and over again. Like, I do both. I do burlesque and I do aerial and I do fire and I do stilts. But at the minute, I'm not in at the fitness level where I could do like silks or anything like that. So I'm not putting on my personal page any silks videos or anything like that, because I don't want to get booked for that, because at the minute I can't do it. I'm not fit enough. I've not trained enough because I've been off for like a good chunk of time. Does that make sense? All right. So that is number one thing I need you to do. I'm gonna talk to you about a few things today. Okay. So number one, identify what you want to be doing. Number two, let's talk about your client's journey from seeing you to booking you. Okay. So got my little whiteboard here. Can you all see that? I'm gonna have a little rejig of everything just so you can see things properly. What do you all this crap about? Okay, so can you see the whiteboard? Yeah? So when you're getting booked, let me just move this over so you can see what I'm saying. So when you're thinking about getting booked, when you're attracting people to your social media, that is the start of a journey towards your client booking you. Okay, so your journey is going to look like this. So this is called a funnel. If you've done any kind of marketing, it doesn't matter what kind of thing, what kind of product you're marketing, a marketing funnel is essentially getting loads of people to be attracted to what you want to do. Then there'll be like a percentage of those people who carry on being interested in you over time, and then there'll be a small amount of people who buy from you or book you. So it's going to look like this. Yeah, so this is our funnel. At the top, we're attracting people who we want to work for, okay, or attracting audience members or whatever. Yeah, the attraction part is getting people to like us on social media. So this is like, you know how I keep banging on about like, know and trust? This is getting people to like us and to follow us, all right? Then we have a stage where we're nurturing people. So for you guys, you're probably in this nurture stage because you've all been following me on social media for a long time. There'll be a few people who are in the attract stage. They've only just come in to my world. They've only just come into my group, or they've only just come into following me on social media, and they've signed up straight away. A lot of you though will have been in this attract stage for ages, and then you went into the nurture stage. So the nurture stage will have been me posting valuable content on social media or uplifting things that you resonate with or whatever. You might have been to one of my events and thought, oh yeah, really, really enjoyed that. You might be in the other coaching group where I used to do lives in there all the time. You might have seen me on YouTube talking about stuff and thought, yeah, that motivational March thing sounds good. Yeah, and the whole of Motivational March is me nurturing you. It's me teaching you things. It's me showing you my knowledge so that you know and trust me. So do you know how I keep saying about like, know and trust? This is the like stage. Nurture is the know and trust stage, okay? So when you're watching your favourite people on social media, they'll put a reel up, and that'll be what drags you in at first, or something, some kind of like photo or graphic, and you'll think, oh, I like that, I'm going to like them. And you might have to see them a couple of times before you follow them. That's the attraction process. Then in the nurture process, you need to be seeing continuous content from that person that resonates with you, that is valuable, and that reflects something that you connect with for you to keep building trust with that person, okay? So here, we're bringing in clients, people are seeing our photos, people are seeing our footage, we're doing that thing where we're commenting on their posts and stuff, and we're like building up a relationship, that we attract them in, they start to follow us. Next we nurture, so we carry on the process of posting our footage, putting a picture up, showing people what shows we've been, interacting with the people that we want to book us on a daily basis or on a weekly basis or whatever, by commenting on their photos, sharing their posts, blah, 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 blah. That's the nurture process, okay? Then we get here to the bottom, convert, okay? So convert is basically making a sale, getting the booking, all right? So these people here that I've been nurturing, the people that are watching me, so for example, on my personal Kitty Campari performer page, I've got about 5k followers, yeah? So I've got 5k followers here. In the nurture process, a proportion of these people will be like creepy old guys that follow me just because they want to look at me. A proportion of those people will be people that are spying on what I'm doing because they can't stand me and they want to see what I'm up to. And a proportion of those people will be my family who've got no interest in ever booking me. Yeah? But then a smaller proportion of those people will be people who are interested in booking me or buying from me in some way. Okay? So they are the people that I'm interested in. So let's say, for argument's sake, from the nurture process, there's about 1k people who actually might be interested in either booking me, doing a class with me, buying something from me, whatever. Okay, that is a really large number, but I'm just doing it for easiness sake. then the convert process is going to be even less people. So from the people who watch me on a regular basis, who interact with me, who like me, only a small proportion of those people are going to book me. Not because they don't like me, not because I'm shit, not because they don't think my apps are good, but that is just how all sales funnels work. Yeah, there isn't infinite work for all people. Yeah, so it's going to go like that. There's going to be a bit of work going, and that is the opportunity for me to get booked. Does that make sense? Okay. So when people think, oh, I've got all these followers, but I'm never getting booked, I must be rubbish. That's nonsense, because that's how sales works. When I send out an email to my email list saying, buy this product, it could be, oh, I'm running like a International Women's Day class this month, it's 10 quid, it's on sale for you guys, get it now. I will have 500 people in that list, about maybe like 200 people will open it if I'm lucky, and then probably about 10 people will buy. If that would be like a really high proportion. Yeah, you get about 1 to 2% of sales in a funnel. So if I've got 5k, 5 people are booking me. Does that make sense? Like it goes down loads. So I don't want you to think that just because you've got shitloads of followers, that means you're going to get shitloads of bookings. Yes, you will get bookings, but you're going to get bookings from a small amount of people, and then you build a relationship where they book you consistently all the time. Does that make sense? It's important that you focus on the building of the relationship, because that is what gets you continuous bookings. We don't want to keep getting new people booking us. We obviously do if we run out of people to book us, but you can have 3 people who book you regularly and you can be a booked out performer. Does that make sense? Okay, so here is the convert. All right, I'm going to talk to you more tomorrow about how we convert these people, but I just want you to understand this process. Yeah, we're building like, know and trust to make sales, and this is how it works. So this would be sales, and as a performer, that is basically bookings. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, so we want to grow our audience, because the more people we attract, the more people are in this nurture group. The nurture is really, really important. If we're not regularly, daily or bi-daily, or at least weekly, I mean, if you're not posting weekly, you're never going to get to this convert point, okay? I would say if you're not posting daily and you wanted to take this seriously as a performer, you have to. Like, if I open a restaurant, like, I can't just not do any social media, because nobody's going to come into my restaurant. It's the same for you guys. And yes, marketing might not be our zone of genius. It's not what we want to be doing. We want to be like performing. But until you're making a lot of money, you've got to be doing all the other boring shit yourself as well. If I open a restaurant, at first it's going to be a family run restaurant where everyone is working. We're probably not making any profit for the first 2 years. Like, we've already invested thousands of pounds into the premises and the food, and we're paying a chef and all that jazz. And then as that business starts doing better, then I can outsource and get some staff in, and I don't have to work every single night. I can have a Saturday off or whatever. And then I might be paying a cleaner instead of me cleaning it myself after I've done like a 12-hour shift. And then I might be paying a social media manager. And then at some point I'll open another branch, and I won't be at either of them, because I've built that up over time. But that's not going to happen straight away. You guys have to be everything at the beginning as a performer. You've got to be the PA, you've got to be the social media marketer, you've got to be the admin and accountant, you've got to be the costumer, you've got to like everything. Okay, so you have to learn this stuff. If you don't learn this stuff, you are behind a huge proportion of people that are already performing and already doing it. Okay, so I want you to take this away today. I will create you a graphic, but I just want you to get this in your head. We have to attract people. We have to gain followers, okay? We gain followers by posting daily, by posting consistent content, by posting interesting content, and I'm going to talk more about the types of content tomorrow. Nurture, we've got to be doing it consistently. We've got to be saying the same things over and over again, reiterating our values, reiterating what we're about, reiterating the quality of our work, reiterating what we can get booked for, and then converting by giving them a call to action, like saying, book me here, or direct messaging that person, or sending that producer that you regularly interact with an email, or going to one of their workshops and then getting to know them in person and then emailing them. They're the things that we're doing, but we have to do this process, or yeah, you might get 1 or 2 bookings, but you're still going to be behind everyone else. Does that make sense? Yeah. Visibility equals, it basically builds trust because people are seeing you all the time, and trust creates sales. Trust creates bookings. I cannot reiterate that enough to you. All right. So I'm going to get rid of that now. That was my little Showgirl school day. So let me know if that makes sense to you. All right. The task for today is I just want you to understand that process. I'm not asking you to do anything other than get into your mind that we have to grow our social media, but as well as growing, we have to nurture those people within there. We can't just get 10,000 followers on Instagram and then not post anything for 3 weeks, because we're going to lose that momentum. We're losing that nurture process. And if we don't have a nurture process where we're constantly bombarding people with being like, look at me, look what I'm doing, look how much I'm improving myself, look how great this act is that I'm creating, look at this, look at that, blah, 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 look at me, like I'm telling you need to do, then you're not going to get the conversion to being booked. Okay? Right, do you know what? I even put my comments on today so that I could see what you're all saying. And then I got too excited because I had a whiteboard. Give me 1 minute, let's see if anybody said anything. Oh, just hi. Hi, everybody. Does that make sense? I'm teaching you this stuff because I want you to be able to use it for like different things. So that funnel process could have been anything. This could have been, I want to sell a lump of cheese, okay? I need to attract in people who love cheese. And then I've got to nurture them by saying why my cheese is the best. Look at our cheeses, look how good they look. Our cheese is like better quality. Look at it, comes in this lovely packaging. If you buy this much this week, you'll get this much for free. Like, that is the nurture process, so that people are like, because otherwise they could just be like, oh, I'll just go to Morrison's and get some cheese. Unfollow. And then conversion will be, right, this week I've got an offer on, or this week this is available, or this, come and buy it, link, or email us if you want this offer, or whatever. Yeah, does that make sense? It doesn't matter what you're selling. You're selling your acts, but you could be selling any product. If you're a dance teacher, that would be your classes. If you're a person who makes costumes, that would be your costume pieces. It's the same process no matter what it is. All right? Right, I'm going to leave it there because that was really, really long. But tomorrow, I bombarded you with the method in my madness. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about those different types of content and how we create them so that we can do those processes. Content that does attract people in, content that does nurture people, and content that does get people to convert. All right, everybody, I will speak to you all soon.